Okay, so we are live now. Yeah.
Are we?
Okay, so I don't know
Okay.
how.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has confirmed in the chat.
Okay, fair enough then. So, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Today I will be hosting this session, and we have Devu with us, and she will be letting us know about how about enhancing the emotional well-being. So I'll just start with bit of my introduction, and then Devu can go ahead with that. My name is Chandan Sharma, and I'm working in IT. I have around 7 years of experience. I'm working as a software developer, and that's pretty much it about my end. So yeah, Devo, it's all yours. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Firstly, my name is Debosmita Chakraborty, and I am a clinical psychologist. To be a clinical psychologist, we need to complete M.PHIL. So I have done my M.PHIL in clinical psychology. I mentioned that because not many people are aware of this. So when you're going for therapy, you really need to know whether the person is a licensed one or not. So you need to look for a person with an RCI license, and yeah, that's it. So I have been practicing for 3 years, and today I would be talking about enhancing the emotional well-being, or how can you do it? What is it? Or what factors damage it? Or what are the consequences when someone's emotional well-being is hampered?
Okay, fair enough.
So, should we begin?
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So, first we'll begin with understanding what is emotional well-being first.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional well-being is nothing but building on your resilience. Resilience, as we all know, is our ability to jump or bounce back mm, even after a difficult situation. So, emotional well being is mostly regarding building our resilience. Now, why is it important? Because stress is a very constant thing in our life. No person on earth can say that I have not faced stress. We all face stress, but sometimes the level of stress can be beyond our ability to cope with the situation. I'm sorry, beyond our ability to cope with the situation, and that is when a person faces breakdown. So if the it is like maintaining the antivirus in your laptop. If you keep it up to dated, likewise, if you keep the coping system up to dated, so at least stress will be there, but you will be able to face it. मतलब जैसे लैपटॉप में वायरस होगा but your antivirus is updated तो भाई it can challenge the virus. Same is
Right.
the thing with immune system, same is the thing with coping system. You can use this to understand each and every working. We just need to upskill ourselves. It is like upskilling ourselves. And yeah, that is why you need to work on your own coping system. You need to upskill that coping resources that you have.
Okay. So, do
Um,
you have any tools for them, or I mean, how to upskill?
sure. So basically, first let's understand stress. Okay, there are basically two types of stress. There is acute stress and then there is chronic stress. Acute stress, that is something that happens suddenly. Acutely I'm facing, and that is when a fight and flight reaction happens in our brain. That is either I fight with the situation or I choose to run away from the situation. That is our reaction to acute stress. But the problem happens when a person is facing chronic stress. By the term chronic, we mean anything that has been persistent, बहुत लंबे देर तक चल रहा है, that is chronic. So chronic stress is actually very much detrimental to someone's health. Yeah. When it comes to acute stress or chronic stress, there are some things that we can use to overcome it. Okay. First is obviously, as I mentioned in the beginning, there are things we can do to work upon our resiliency or to increase our resiliency. How we can do that is many things around us are freely available, but once we start utilizing those resources in the best possible way, we will be building our resilience. For example, I just have this bottle of water in front of me. Um, this is a resource that we all have. It is freely available. But how I utilize it, it's up to me. I can use this water when I drink it to either increase my productivity, or I can even have it during meals. As it is said, like having water during the meals will not have a very good effect on your digestion. So, this is a resource, and I will choose how to use it. Likewise, there is sleep, there is exercise. So, all there are resources available, and proper utilization of these resources in your daily life. And I'm sure everybody will understand that it does not require money. Using these
Right.
daily resources does not need money, it just requires a proper intention. If you're using these resources, yes, they will help you, or some lifestyle factors, if you change, it brings a great difference to your coping.
Okay. So yeah, so that's this is all about stress, right?
Yeah.
And then how can we get rid of it? What are the different tools that can help us? If you can elaborate this as well.
Can you ever get rid of stress? You cannot, right?
Not exactly, but I can control it, right?
Yes, you can just learn to manage it, and you can do it by um, increasing the resources that you have, which is the first thing that I mentioned. And the second thing is checking up on ourselves. कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है ना, like मेरे से ये situation deal नहीं हो रहा है,
Right,
या I need a break.
right.
So sometimes people keep overworking, or sometimes people don't take those hints very seriously. हाथ टूटने पे हम लोग उसका जितना जैसा hint लेते हैं,
Right.
नो, इमोशनली एक ब्रेकडाउन होता है, या कोई कुछ बोल देता है, या कुछ इमोशनली अफेक्ट्स अस, उसका वी डू नॉट टेक केयर. So it is very important to check on yourself.
Okay.
Like, do I actually need a break? I'm sorry. Do I actually need a break? Do I need to consult someone or talk to someone? So that is really important, because if you don't identify कि कब मुझे rectification करना है, um, sometimes it's a little too late to bring a kind of rectification. And as you mentioned, how can someone identify? First, obviously, checking on yourself, you can identify. And secondly, what can you do is there are different psychometric tests and assessment that help us understand the level of stress that you are facing right now, or there is a stress called vulnerability stress scale that will tell you whether you are vulnerable to face stress in the future, or is your coping system enough that you can face stress in the future, or what are the domains you can work upon to make it better. So there are certain scales that can help you. Any psychologist will be able to guide you with that, or if not, you can definitely reach out to me. I have a customized scale of four individual scales. So where I've combined four individual scales to gather the findings, because sometimes we just need to know कि like मेरे लाइफ में जितना स्ट्रेस चल रहा है वो क्या मैं नॉर्मल लाइफस्टाइल फैक्टर चेंजेस से ठीक कर सकता हूँ, या एक्चुअली मुझे इसके लिए थेरेपी चाहिए होगी. People sometimes don't identify कि मुझे एक्चुअली लाइक ये क्या उतना सिवियर है कि मुझे थेरेपी में जाना चाहिए, या आई कैन मैनेज इट ऑन माई. अब मैनेज इट ऑन माई ओन तो करना क्या चाहिए, मतलब सिंपल काउंसलिंग या गाइडेंस से मेरा हो जाएगा. So the way I have developed it is there are already four existing standardized tests which have been standardized in the Indian and the international population. So using those tests, I am able to gather some information which gives me the knowledge whether the person requires help right now, what are the things, or where, what are the domains exactly जहाँ उसको help कर सकते हैं, या उसको therapy चाहिए या नहीं. One more thing how tests help is to understand basically आपका जो improvement हुआ है वो कितना improvement हुआ है. Like जैसे आप बीपी measure करते हो, you need a number, right?
Right.
एक महीना पहले इतना था, एक महीने बाद इतना था, सो यू अंडरस्टैंड कि हाँ दवाई काम कर रही है.
Right.
So you always need a measure to understand कि improvement हुआ है या नहीं. So this test is also providing with same amount of information. So मतलब if you suppose you are taking therapy for 1 month or 1.5 months.
Okay.
So generally, to get any form of benefit, I definitely ask my clients to take therapy for at least like once a week duration में जाता है. So you take it for 4 to 5 sessions, which will be like one month or 1 month, 15 days, 10 days, वैसा चलेगा. So that is when you find a difference. But how will you measure that difference?
Right.
The test actually plays a role here. Before beginning therapy, the person undergoes this test, and at the end of 4 to 5 sessions they do the test again, so that gives them the knowledge like how much improvement has happened or what is the improvement level. So yeah, tests is one way how you can understand. Building your resilience is one basic thing that every one of us should start applying in our life. मतलब मैं ऐसा बोलती हूँ like we constantly work on our immune system, right? हम लोग बिकोसुल
Right.
खाते हैं, हम लोग
Right.
जिंक का कुछ खाते हैं, अब क्योंकि पता
Right.
है कि बॉडी को ये चाहिए.
Right.
So we do things to upskill our immune system. Likewise, why not your coping system? If you're upskilling your immune system for your physical health, so same for your emotional health you should do it ना, क्योंकि physical and emotional health तो भाई separate नहीं है.
Right.
It's like one whole entire domain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like falls under the domain of health. If you want to be called healthy, you can't say like physical health and emotional health alag alag karke. You just combine it together.
Right. Right.
So yeah, bring in the lifestyle changes in everyone's life. But if you feel कि stress मेरे cope करने के capacity से थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जा रहा है, you should like check in yourself, ask yourself, go through these assessments, get the information. This assessment will give you the information कि like क्या हो चल रहा है मेरे लाइफ में एंड मुझे कितना हेल्प चाहिए, and then if required do go for psychotherapy or do go for counseling and talk to people and like know what can be done to mitigate the situation. Okay, over here I'll just add, sometimes the stress, as I mentioned, chronic stress बहुत दिन तक चल रहा है. So sometimes the situation is a little hard to handle. Okay, and sometimes it might give rise to depressive features or anxious features in a person. Mind you, features is not depression. Okay, depressive features अलग होता है, depression अलग होता है. Depression is the diagnosis, features यानी कुछ features है. So sometimes when a person is facing chronic stress, हो सकता है वो एक clinical level पे भी आ सकता है या non clinical level पे भी रह सकता है. क्लिनिकल लेवल यानी व्हेन वी कैटेगराइज समथिंग वो माइल्ड मॉडरेट सीवियर कैटेगरीज में आता है, दैट इज क्लिनिकल. एंड नॉन क्लिनिकल मतलब नॉट फिटिंग अ डायग्नोसिस बट द सिम्टम्स आर देयर. So in that case there are certain therapies that can help a person. Every psychologist has their different strengths in their therapies. What I would generally refer to the person or what I generally practice with my clients is mindfulness based therapies or mindfulness based interventions, just by mindfulness based stress reduction or mindfulness based cognitive therapies or cognitive therapies in general, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy in general, that I practice with my clients.
Got it, got it. Okay. And I remember those days when I was there also in the stress and the way you helped me, that was amazing. I totally
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
for this thing for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, we must remove the stigma that, okay,
Yeah, that's
talking
what
about,
Yeah, I mean, over here in India, people are like, if we are feeling stressed, like they're okay, right? They won't recommend to go to psychologist or you know. So you just wanted
correct,
your thoughts on this. That how can we get rid of this taboo? I can say what is there in India, wherein whenever the people is suffering from any of the stress, they're like, okay, it's very normal for them, right? They're not even aware of what exactly like from what things they are going on right now. So can you also throw
Correct.
some lights on this as well, to educate the people that it's better to go to psychologists rather than taking some measures on their own, and rather than just
Correct.
hassling about your decisions and all, just clouding of the thoughts and all. So you
Correct.
can throw some light on
One of the biggest challenge that I have seen is like there are people who want to reach out for help,
that. Uh-huh.
but kahin na kahin they hesitate because of the people around them.
Right.
Because sometimes we are just very pessimistic about a certain form of thing in
Right.
life because people around us are like, अरे यार सिर्फ बात तो करेगी क्या काम करेगा.
Correct.
If the people around you are constantly saying this, it will make you doubt yourself, doubt your own decision. Suppose the person does want to reach out for help, but obviously these kind of comments will stop the person from seeking help. What is very important to understand that to break the stigma, obviously, psychologists need to come out, speak about it, and I am sure that it will help if people who have undergone this procedure, many people have undergone this. And I will say, like, with time, the stigma is kind of reducing. What should happen is people should just come out and say, Ki, yeah, I had this problem and I'm just, I was taking therapy. It helped for me and go ahead, it'll help for you as well. If people stop with their negativity towards psychotherapy and just say that yes it helped me, it helped them, but they are just ashamed of saying कि like हाँ लोग मुझे जज करेंगे. अगर वो लोग आगे आके बोलते हैं or recommend it to someone whom they see कि is in need of some kind of support, तो वो लोग अगर आगे आके बोलते हैं तो like that will remove a lot of what should I say, barriers. Now, okay, I'll just take this platform to say that psychotherapy is more than just बात करना, because obviously सबसे ज़्यादा hindrance यहाँ पे ही आता है बात
Right.
करना. Psychotherapy is based on the science of neuroplasticity.
Mm-hmm.
Neuroplasticity means that the brain is highly plastic. It can change in itself, right? Whatever you are practicing.
Okay.
There was a Harvard University study where MRI scans of many taxi drivers were done.
Okay.
Okay, and they found that the drivers day in and day out क्या करते हैं? They navigate through places, right? So which part of the brain are they using? Obviously, the visual spatial area of the brain. MRI में देखा गया था कि उनका visual spatial area बड़ा है साइज में. It is stronger. तो इससे क्या पता चलता है हमको? That whatever you are practicing is becoming stronger and it is reflecting in your brain.
Right.
If you practice negativity, if you practice judgment, if you're constantly bitching, if you're doing like constantly like breakup हुआ है तो आप constantly negative गाना सुन रहे हो या life में कोई stress चल रहा है, so you're just not trying to do something positive about it, but rather you're just constantly cribbing about it. So when you are practicing negativity, the brain is getting structured according to that. Brain does not know what is right, what is wrong. But whatever you are practicing, if you are practicing negativity, your brain is changing into negative. Likewise, if you practice positive things, the brain turns to positivity. So mindfulness, cognitive ho, dialectical behavior therapy ho, REBT ho, whatever form of therapy, BT ho, whatever it is, there are some positive practices. And when you are doing it, the neurons in the brain, न्यूरोजेनेसिस यानी बर्थ ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स वो होते ही रहता है. एंड ब्रेन में हमारे जो साइनस एंड sulcus and gyrus है, the grooves and the ridges,
Okay.
so like they are being formed. ऐसा नहीं है that I was born this way and I will stay this way forever.
Right.
It's not like this. It can change, and the change is in your hand. Whether you want to practice something negative or whether you want to practice something positive. So this is neuroplasticity, and psychotherapy is based on this. It has been seen that 2 months of basic sum practice can actually bring some structural changes in your head. MRI
Okay.
scans or PT scans suggest that. By mindfulness, I do practice mindfulness, so I'll speak about mindfulness only. 2 months of mindfulness, and they were like, they, मतलब, ये Harvard University study है, freely available on Google. Anyone can just go through it and see. There have been structural changes. It will benefit students, to teachers, to homemakers, to everybody. It increases your hippocampus, that's your learning ability. It increases the prefrontal cortex, gray matter, which means your ability to reason out, judge, decision making. Procrastination challenge karta, which is the biggest challenge everybody is facing. So yeah, psychotherapy can do that. Psychotherapy is also a science. It is not just baat karna. I think that is the biggest challenge or resistance in people's mind.
Got it, got it. Okay. And would you mind sharing your routine? Like how what is your routine in day-to-day life to get rid from the stress and to stop the positivity? As we have heard that most of the time people attracts negativity more than that of the positivity, right? So yeah,
Hmm.
your routine so that people are aware of
Uh,
that they can intimate you, I can say, a bit so that they can get rid of all such stuff. Yeah.
um, पहली बात, my clients ask me a lot, मैम आपको स्ट्रेस होता है? Obviously होता है, I'm human ना. Do I
Right.
feel low? I feel low. I'm very much human. These are normal things like every human is going to face. Problem ये होता है कि it does not affect me that much, or I can jump out of it. Probably I have the coping skills in my bag, or I know what is to be done. अब गुस्सा नहीं होते हैं. Okay, I'll just say this also. Gussa is a very it's a normal emotion. It's not wrong. It's not at all wrong. But गुस्से में आप क्या कर देते हो? That is to be kept in check. But gussa is a
Right.
very normal. Okay, what I do is आई बिलीव कि आप जस्ट सुबह उठ के आप एक लैपटॉप को जैसे ऑन कर देते हो तो वो ऑन नहीं होता है, राइट? देयर इज अ बूटिंग प्रोसेस दैट हैपेंस. So it's likewise for our body. Like, why do many people do this to your body? Like you wake up and work from home है तो लैपटॉप मतलब बेड पे ही लैपटॉप लेके बैठ गए. I'm sure a majority of people do that. But
Very true.
like the computer, where there's a booting process, sometimes you need to clean the C drive, restart करना पड़ता है, बहुत कुछ. Same thing for the human body as well. So I try to practice a morning routine and I try to practice a night routine. That more you don't have to imitate me. No one needs to imitate anyone. Every person can have their individual morning routines and night routines, whatever helps them like charge up for the day or whatever helps them unwind the day. Okay, we cannot just jump into the day. We need to like get ready for the day. That is what I believe in and I practice. So what I do is my early morning, I have my water, I have my dry fruits, I have my milk. I kind of do my yoga, mindfulness based yoga. I do it. And then when okay, I am awake right now, I am kind of prepared to face the day. That is when I start. जैसे starting में ही I said we have certain resources. We just need to use them wisely. So mobile is one resource which distracts us a lot, right? But we can use it to our benefit as well. Like if you are not using the internet properly, um, you are just not aware of so much of information around. So yeah, जैसे वहाँ पे what can I do? I can restrict my social media time. I can restrict the time that I'm using. One more thing that I do is I constantly wear the watch. Because you
Okay.
must have observed कि like कभी कभी हम लोग टाइम देखने के लिए मोबाइल खोलते हैं बट कुछ और ही देखने लगते हैं. एंड मतलब सपोज यू आर स्क्रॉलिंग थ्रू रील्स एंड 20 मिनट हो गया, चलो you're just scrolling through reels. So
Huh,
for
that
that, yeah, that my technique is wearing a watch. Sometimes I had observed कि like मोबाइल में मेरे को कोई काम है, ठीक है, एंड आई फॉरगॉट मतलब क्या काम था, आई फॉरगॉट. ठीक है, एंड रादर देन दैट मैं रील्स देखने लग गई. So intentionally, what I practiced for the first few days, and now it is a habit, is when I am going to open the mobile, okay, मुझे इसका chat देखना है, so I will constantly repeat it in my mind. हम वही करके वही देख के हम बंद कर देंगे उसको. Because
Right.
sometimes when you open the mobile, कौन याद नहीं रहता है. You end up just doing the reels जो करना था actually वो तो किया ही नहीं.
Mm-hmm.
मोबाइल देखते रह गए.
Right.
So yeah, these are the small small things that I use. The biggest thing that I use: morning routine, night routine, the way I start my day, the way I choose to unwind my day, and I try to limit distractions as much as I can. My social circle is not very big. I do not have a lot of friends over here. So what I do, I dedicate a lot of time to my family, and when I'm talking to them, I make sure I'm just talking to them. I'm not parallelly doing anything. Yeah, in a screen minimize करके कोई और काम कर रहा है. Don't do that. Be in the present. जो भी कर रहे हो, you're in the here and now. You are just not meant to be alive. You are meant to live. Live every moment. So that is what I try to practice. It's a try again. We tend to
That's
get distracted. That is completely normal. But every day you just try more and more, a little more and more. You're just, it's like a building. You're building on it. Don't think कि पहला दिन में ही perfect होने वाला है.
all it.
But you build on it.
I mean, slowly and gradually, whatever habits you wanted to make, you can make it,
Correct.
and then it will make a habit. As it's a
Correct.
saying that if you do the thing 15 days, it will come into your habit.
Hmm.
Is it 15 or 30 days? I think 15 days, right?
They basically say around 3 weeks,
Okay,
but it is obviously different for different people.
right.
And it also depends upon the level of motivation a person has. So, yeah. It will depend
Got
upon person to person, but definitely एक चीज को repeatedly करो तो वो definitely it is going to become a habit, and then consciously आपको वो effort नहीं डालना पड़ेगा. Like positive thoughts are also like that. अगर consciously हम एक दो दिन पैदा करते हैं उसको, consciously if I think positive, if I listen to positive things, if even the songs I'm listening to is positive, repeated कुछ दिन बाद effort नहीं डालना पड़ेगा, unconsciously वो आ रहा है. It is going
Makes
into my unconscious.
got
Initially,
it.
you just need to consciously practice it.
Got it, got it. Okay. And then I'll just ask my last question. I mean, so many people have asked me in my
Mhm.
office as well. How does diet plays and role in stress? I mean, how food affects.
Food is mood, right? So, yeah, food plays a huge role in stress. If you have fatty, oily food for a very long time, obviously, मतलब there is some acid formation, कुछ भी होता है, you feel irritable, right? Like when
Yeah.
you have had a lot of ketchup and fries and everything, you feel that. So food is definitely like your gut health is directly related to your mood. But on the if you have too much of chocolate, तभी वही होता है. You feel the guilt कि मैंने क्यों खाया, अब guilt से मरो. Like क्यों खाया अब repeatedly दिन में वही चल रहा है.
Right.
So my thing is, don't restrict yourself. कि I'll never eat chocolate. I'll never eat sweets. I'll never eat potato. I'll never have fries. I'll never have ketchup. वैसा नहीं हो सकता है. खाते वक्त भी I would say like just be mindful and eat what you're eating, but moderation is the key. Mindful
Right.
eating is another exercise that we do it with chocolates. Um, that we practice in mindfulness based interventions. So yeah, mindfulness का aim ये है, mindfulness ये बोलता है that sometimes when people are stressed they undergo emotional eating. बहुत खा लिया उसके बाद guilt हो रहा है, या when you are into some sort of dieting, whatever it is, um, weight lose किया तब, but you are not able to maintain that weight loss.
Correct.
Once you lose the diet you start gaining back again. So mindfulness is saying कि weight loss is not important. For mindfulness, they are going to maintain a healthy body weight, but that is going to be constant. हम chocolate भी खा रहे हैं, but I'm not having the entire bar. Sometimes in emotional eating, you eat the entire bar, but you don't get the satisfaction. Mindful
True.
eating, may you just have one piece of it, but you get the satisfaction out of it.
Right.
and you know when to eat, when not to eat. वो awareness आता है with the practice of mindful eating and mindfulness or any sort of psychotherapy. So yeah,
Got it.
food is very important, but we just need to be aware of it and make it interesting. Not just restrict your mind कि हाँ ये नहीं खाना है. When you restrict, that is when it becomes difficult.
Got it. Yeah, so that answers all my questions. I mean, I can just summarize that if someone is facing problem, do reach out to psychologists because it's very normal and get rid of all the negativity that's being there around you, which will help you to grow, right? And how can people reach out to you, Deboshmita? So if you wanted to
Yeah,
share your
yeah,
email
sure.
or your information.
They can reach out to me via WhatsApp. That is the easiest way how you can reach out to me. And definitely my own website, you can reach out through that, which is www.debosmitachakraborty.com. Plain and simple, just my name and then .com. So yeah, these two ways you can reach out to me. You can get all the information. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can definitely just send me a WhatsApp query.
Got it. Okay, okay. So, yeah, that pretty much, I guess, answers everyone's question. I have those list of questions that I have, and I just ask you. So, yeah, and I would also like to thank Pragyata Foundation for arranging this session so that to educate the people on all
Yeah.
these, all these topics as well. So, yeah, I guess, that's pretty much it, right? And I would highly recommend all of you to reach Devoshmita because I know, I mean, the way you helped me to get rid of all such situations that I have, that was, amazing. So
Thank you so much.
don't hesitate to talk about stress and all. Be free, reach out to anyone you wanted to, and all the very best, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Devoshmita, for your time, and thank
Thank
you.
you, Chandan.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a lovely moderator. And again, thank you to Pragyata Foundation to for conducting such a thing. These sessions should be much more frequent so that at least people are aware like what to do, how to do, should we reach out, like removing the stigma. And this will even ease out people and talk about their own experiences. And when people do that, it'll like be a healthy society. That's really important.
That's really important. True, true. Okay, then. Thank you so much, Devo. Have a
Thank
nice day.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.